Tusemezane, perfect voices and timely topics.
Hello and welcome to another amazing episode of Tusemezane Show. This is a show where you get the perfect voices and timely topics. I am your host, Nyota Lubemba, and it's always a pleasure to have you here with us. And thank you for tuning in today. And in the spirit of timely topics, today we'll be discussing a very amazing topic, something that affects us every day, our day-to-day lives, what we do, how we grow, and even our future in general. And in regards to that, there's this quote that says that money is a tool. So when you use it well, you'll definitely get beautiful things. But when you use it wrongly, of course, it creates mess and chaos. And that brings us to the topic of today, where we'll be talking about investment. Yes, you heard that right. We'll be talking about investment. And today with me in studio, I have an amazing guest, a real expert who will be shedding more light on what investment is, the do's and don'ts of investment, the challenges that you may go through when you talk about investment or when trying to invest in something. And it is something that you really need. So make sure you stay tuned in, continue interacting with us on our social media platforms at Real Creatives on YouTube, at Park University on Facebook, and on Instagram at Real Creatives, that is Real C_Creatives on Instagram. And my guest of today is a Director of Retirement Solutions at Kuza Asset Management. And from the title, you can already see that he's someone who will bring insight that is definitely going to help you in matters investment. And of course, he's going to tell us more about himself as we proceed with the conversation. Karibu sana sir.
I'm excited about today's topic.
I'm also very excited, and I hope even our viewers at home are more than excited like we are.
Exactly.
Yes.
I like something you said, and I agree with you that money can make you, money can break you.
Definitely.
So that outcome, maybe it's where our conversation today may save somebody.
Of course. So you have already heard from our guest today that money can make you and money can destroy you. But before we go deep in the conversation, maybe you can tell us more about yourself. You know, just mention something. I might have not done justice to the introduction.
Thank you very much. My name is George Oyuga, a Director of Retirement Solutions at Kuza Asset Management. Kuza, by the name, is derived from the Swahili word kuza, which means to nurture. So for us, our mandate is simply to nurture people's financial journeys. This one we do on the investment side for retail and corporates. We also do that on the retirement side. So our philosophy is actually that investment is a journey, and then retirement is also a journey. So that is actually why Kuza exists, and we are happy. The base of our clients currently, it's a very happy lot based on what we've been doing.
Yes. I really like the name Kuza. It's so creative and it relates really well with your vision or the mission of the organization. So if you want to Kuza your investment, or even if you're retired, you've talked about even that retirement is also a journey, right?
It's a journey, yes.
Yeah, so if you want to Kuza your investment, this is definitely the conversation for you. So do not go far. So let's get right into the conversation with the first question. We are just talking about investment. People always hear about investment, saying I've invested in this and this. So tell us, what is investment?
Okay, I know there are many definitions out there, but I'll give you the Kuza one.
Okay, it's okay.
Kuza is about nurturing, as I said. So the way I'll define investments today is by saying that investment is an art. The art of nurturing growth either in your assets or in your money itself. So that art of nurturing growth and getting the best of it is simply what we call investments.
I really like that definition. It is just short and clear to the point. Like investment is an art.
An art of nurturing growth. Exactly.
Wow, that is really nice. So from that definition, can you tell us maybe what is the benefit of investment? Like, why would someone why should someone start investing at an early age? Yeah,
Very
because we are
good.
always told that, oh, you should start planning early and everything so that you cannot suffer in future. Can you please tell us the benefit of that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So like a normal coin,
Yeah.
a coin has two sides. It has the tail and it also has the head. Is
yeah.
it? So in investments, there is the aspect of growth,
Yeah.
but in that growth, you also do not forget about protection.
Wow.
So it is you protect what you already have and what is already there, and then position that for growth into the next frontier. So for young people, when you talk about investments, the young people come with something that many people do not have, and that is the advantage of time. Because the way, I don't know, you look very young. Do you know
Yes,
the African
I am young.
kitchen?
Yes.
You know the African kitchen?
Yeah.
It has 3 stones.
Yeah.
So those stones actually depict what investment is about. So if investment is what will be cooking on the pot, one of the stones that supports this pot is what we would call the objective. So you ask yourself, what do I want out of what I am about to do?
Yeah.
So that objective, you may all be in the same space, but people have different objectives.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe with time, I'll illustrate that much more. The second stone is about horizon. Horizon simply answers the question, how much time do I want to give this activity that I'm getting into? Some will be in there for 3 months, another one will be there for 3 years, another one will be there for 30 years. Those are different time horizons. Then the third stone is about risk appetite or the risk profile of the person investing, and also the risk profile of the assets that you're about to invest into or the space. So what happens here is that based on the risk profile, we know when people chase returns, return always comes with associated risk. And each space has different risk profiles. So one must be able to merge all those 3 things in that tripartite relationship to ensure that while the investments cook in that pot, it is well supported. The horizon is right, the objective is right, and also the risk profile.
Okay, so from the 3 stones that you have talked about, the horizon and also the objectives and everything there. So, okay, let us look at the young people. You have talked about the objective. So if you have an objective, you should definitely know what you need to have so that you can invest.
Exactly.
So what does someone need to have before they can invest? Do you need to have many assets, or does it need a certain level of assets, or just the little you have? Chochote or little nacho you can just bring and start your investment journey, you know.
I get your question. What happens, and especially for young people, is that the investment spaces we have currently have really opened up very well and lowered the entry points to a point whereby someone who may not have as much capital like the young and all that can actually now still have an opportunity to be able to participate in that. I remember back in the days, for example, investing in some spaces like money markets or investing in what we collectively call collective investment schemes. People needed a lot of money. Some of them would say the minimum entry point is 250,000.
Wow.
Others would talk about 50,000. And you see a young person maybe raising that as a one-off means that first of all you're already closed out of that. But today we are talking about you can join a money market fund like the Kuza one at only 1,000 shillings.
Wow.
And you start from there and you begin a journey, and it will be you lived happily ever after.
Oh, wow. So to my young audience at home, if you decide to save your pocket money for a week, you can already start your investment journey.
Yes, you can be counted among
that
the
is
people
really
who are
because you know
investing.
when people hear about investment, you start thinking of natoa wapi 1 million?
I
Like, where am I
know.
getting a million shillings to start? Or you
Yeah,
start
yeah.
thinking of maybe like houses or maybe cars and everything. So maybe the young people might be like, okay,
Yes.
let me first reach 30 when
You
I have
know,
a job and money.
then
But
start there.
yeah, but you've heard that with as less as 1,000 shillings,
Yes.
you can start
Oh,
your
you can walk
investment.
around like someone who I also have a money market
And
fund,
you
you
suit
know?
up, you suit
know?
up like like someone who has money.
1,000 bob.
Wow.
Then the other thing that today people are enjoying is convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the others you had to walk to a physical office,
Oh,
get a
true.
physical form, fill it and all that. Today with the technology and the advancements that are there with all the gadgets and all that, all you need, like for example right now, is a Kuza app. Just go to the Play Store,
Okay.
yeah, or you go to the App Store,
Yeah.
and there you go. Download the Kuza app, and you are as good
You
as.
start your
So
happily ever after journey.
Yes, investment has actually come to the palm of people's hands.
Okay.
As flexible as that.
That's really flexible, and that shows that anyone can just start their investment journey. Does not
Exactly.
matter how young
Yes,
you are.
exactly.
That is nice. So
Yeah.
from that, how can we talk about the risky and also like the secure investment? Are there like, you can talk about the risky and secure investment and how someone should go about that?
Oh, very good, very
Yeah.
good. And thanks for raising that, because we are in a society where people have been duped, people have been conned,
Yeah.
and so much has happened. So what we say, and this is an acronym, for us we say the space where you invest matters.
Wow.
And with S there, we talk about safety.
Wow.
And that is safety in terms of the licensing of the organization. So in this particular case, the regulator for the entire capital markets or the investment space is Capital Markets Authority. So anyone who comes out and tells you, oh, invest with us and the like, your first check is what? Are they licensed and regulated by Capital Markets Authority?
Yeah.
That is on the S. Then you go to the P, which is now the product safety. Product safety will be presented to you in two ways. One is the preventive side of it, which is how is the governance and how also is the licensing and how is the regulation. So if it's a product that is also regulated, then you are also safer. The other thing is how is it structured in terms of how it operates. If the governance structure is strong, then it gives you the preventive side of it. If it is a regulated product, you have a fallback position. If anything goes wrong, you can rush to the regulator and say, hey, I saw this thing listed under your permitted spaces that one can invest. How come this happened to me? Then there is a curative side of things. Then we also look at, that is S and P. We now look at A. A is access. So access will also be aligned to the objective I talked about. Because if you're going into invest into something, you want something that if you want your money back, you can get your money back.
Sure.
And I'll still give an example using our money market fund. Within 48 hours of a withdrawal request, you have your money back. That one in investment terminology is called liquidity. How fast can you convert what you had invested into back to cash?
Wow.
So you are not in cash per se, but you are in a near cash instrument. So that way then you are able to convert back to cash very, very fast. And for us, it takes that 48 hours, which can handle anything, including emergencies. Then the C is the cost. So if you look at the cost of the space where you're going into, you are assessing what are the fees like. You are assessing what other charges do I have? Are there any other hidden charges? Am I charged something when I withdraw? Things like those ones. So in the money market fund, for example, and we are speaking especially to the young people, is to say that that rate you see published is net of fees, meaning fees has already been taken off. That is now where now someone is giving you 16.3, 5 or 3.8%. That is net of fees. The other cost that you may incur there may not be related directly to the product or directly to the company giving you. it is because you have an obligation as a citizen of this country, which is to pay taxes. So tax definitely will be there. Now, are you charged anything when you withdraw? Kuza, we have waived fees on withdrawal for the first withdrawal in the month, the second withdrawal in the month, both of them no charges. It is the third withdrawal that now we say, okay, 3 now is too much. So what do? We are not penalizing you. We are simply saying, now for this one, kindly carry the burden. So we just pass the cost of processing that withdrawal to you. So that is on the C. The E on the space model is the earnings. Now that is now where, who is the best manager? Who is among the top managers? Are they giving me good rates? And that's where Kuza comes in. Top 5 in the markets, 85th percentile. And yes, rates are up there. That's why I said our clients are very happy.
So you've heard about the Kuza. Kuza, if you just want to Kuza anything, you have heard about the waivers that they have, the space model that they're using. It's definitely something that you'd want also to invest in, because you are assured of your funds and anything that you decide to invest in. And see, you mentioned earlier that I look like a young person. I am a young person, actually. And since I want to represent the young people, of course, most of us young people do not really know how to, how to go about investment, like where to start, because we never know. See, if we're just given like pocket money or little money, we just think like, there's that dress I saw somewhere and I'll need to go and buy it. We don't think about keeping that money so that maybe it will help in future. So maybe you can tell us about strategies that can be used for proper investment, especially for the young people, considering the fact that we are not sure where we are going to get our next funds from. Because if I'm given maybe 500 shillings right now, I'm not sure of the next time I'm going to receive maybe a 100 shilling. So maybe you can tell us about the strategies that can be adapted by young people.
Very good. We normally say with money, we are our own worst enemies. Because that thing we said about money can make you or money can break you, it's because money in itself has no powers to move into any direction.
Very true.
The person who calls those shots is actually the owner or the person holding the money, who says, let it go this way, or let it go towards this expenditure, or let it stay here. It's the decision of the individual. And that is the person we are talking to today. To tell them that one of the tools that you need, first of all, to ensure your money is going to the right direction is a budgeting tool. So that budgeting tool allows you to prioritize the spaces where your money goes, so that you can now see clearly that here I have needs and I also have wants. Which ones come first? My needs come first. So you channel your money more towards that. You avoid something we call impulse expenditure. Why? Because that is why the power of advertisement comes in. Because it gets anyone who is not grounded on a very, very strong budgeting framework to respond to everything out there. And I'll give you an example. If you walked to a supermarket today, you will definitely find all the beverages in one street.
Very true.
So if you didn't budget and you didn't know exactly this is what I want and I'm focused towards getting it, you may end up thinking how you need each of these brands. And I'll give you an example. You are there and you remember your young brother is a footballer. So what happens is, there's a beverage called Bonvictor. And now you want to go like, this one, if my brother takes a cup, I'm sure he will be able to do what? To score. Yes? Then you move to the next one and you remember, this is the Kahawa #1. The smell of this thing, someone is brewing it across the street. I can feel it, I can hear it. My mom, my dad, my aunt used to talk about this. Kahawa #1, let me buy some. You put it there. You go to tea, then you are like, okay, within tea, there are tea leaves. Yes, then you go like, now, okay, at some point I need it to boil properly,
yeah,
you know,
true.
brewed tea. So what do? I need to get a sieve, and this one I'll use with a sieve.
Yeah.
Then next to it, there is one that is now in those small sachets.
Yeah, tea bags.
So
yeah.
tea bags. So those tea bags, again, you go, yeah, this looks gisty. So what happens to you is, yeah, let me pick this, because it feels good to drop a tea bag inside the cup, and you go like, yes, we are the people, you know. Before you realize, you go like, by the way, this idea of trying to fish for it with a spoon from the cup, I need those ones that come with a tag.
Yeah.
Then before you know it, you are there. Oh, so and so may visit me. I know drinking chocolate is good for lactating mothers. Again, you are saying what? Let me have some drinking chocolate.
Yeah.
You needed a beverage. But you've walked out of that space with almost 7 brands of it.
Yeah.
Budgeting. If you had budgeted, that tool could have saved you from that. Because ideally speaking, Nyota, everything in the supermarket has a space and a function in my house.
Very true.
And in your house.
Yeah.
So it depends with what your priorities are. You know, in one particular line of item, you can get as many things as you can.
Yeah.
That is number one, budgeting. Number two is where you feel you may not have the consistency to keep doing this, keep doing that. Try as much as possible and see how can I automate it, for example.
Yeah.
If I have established that I have a money market fund with Kuza, the custodian for Kuza is KCB, I will go, ask for that account number, put it as a standing order from my account, such that every time there is something at the end of the month like this, I have this amount going straight towards that saving, as I've saved myself. So if you can automate it, automate it. If you can use a plan, which is the budget, also use the plan and use the budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I am really guilty of what you've talked about, budgeting. Because I am one of those people when they go to the supermarket.
Yes.
Trust me, I was just going for sugar and milk. So that didn't even need a shopping bag. But I will come out with 2 shopping bags full of things that I didn't even know. So I hope you're really learning as much as I am about budgeting and how you can utilize your funds in a way that is beneficial to you and not just using them for the sake of just utilizing money. So you can continue dropping your questions, your insights on our social media platforms, on Facebook at Park University, on YouTube at Real Creatives, and also on Instagram at realc_creatives, so that we can continue knowing if you are also as guilty as I am. Unaenda supermarket to get one thing, but you come with 2 shopping bags. And if you had budgeted, you couldn't be having such problems, you know. So this conversation is really, really not just helping me, and I'm sure it is also helping someone back at home. So in the spirit of problems that we face in investing, are there like, you can talk about other problems that maybe people might not think that it is a problem, but it actually is a problem. That for you it's just a normal thing. You're just like, okay, there's still time. I can invest later, you know. So maybe you can also talk about that.
Yeah, thank you for that. Because the first question was, where does the money come from for us to invest? We've said you can hive that out from me using a budgeting tool, or create a channel where the money can be, you know, prioritized so that investments are there. So now you have your money there. Now, what's next?
Yeah.
So what next takes me to those 3 stones. Problem number 1 is when you cannot define your objectives clearly. Because there are spaces, for example, you want to invest in shares. There's somebody who comes into shares because they want dividends.
Yeah.
So if they do not have someone else who can help them research and tell them, there are almost 52 listed companies in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. You want to invest in one that pays dividends. We've done our research and it is this one and this one and this one. Don't just buy any shares. Because your objective is, I want to be paid a dividend.
Yeah.
Another one comes and says, I want in the same shares.
Yeah.
Mine is actually, the objective is the growth of that share price from where it is at maybe 20 shillings to 21,
Yeah.
or 13 to 14, or to 15. So you see, these are two people investing in shares, but their objectives are totally different.
Yeah.
So one needs to be able to define what their objective is. And so that if you get into that where yours is capital, you know, you may go into a counter or a share, for example, where you buy and this price does not move. Yet your objective was capital appreciation, for the price to move from this level to the next one, and then it is not moving. But behind the scenes, this is the one counter that is paying very good dividends. So you are in the wrong bus.
Yeah, sure.
You see,
yeah.
Objective. If you can define your objective clearly, then that is a good thing. The next thing, based on the second stone, which was horizon, yes, is to also ask yourself, are you really, really sure that the space you are going into matches the time that you also will allocate for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nyota, school fees will be demanded in January.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
You can't take that money and put in a plot.
Very true.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. January is just about around the corner. Yes, we are in November. Is it? Or maybe it is December. There's 30, 50, 60 days. That is not a time where you can say, let me board the bus at Kencom, go with people to where they go to see plots, book one of mine, then do my photos. Yeah, guys, you see selfies. This is me and on my plot, you know, plot owner. Only for December. Come January, you will look for a buyer for that plot and you will not get.
Very true.
So that horizon would have been a mismatch. So what we tell people is that also check what their horizon is and make sure it matches yours. You can go into a space that you feel, I'll need this money in 3 months. We can advise you which is the best space to put that money in those 3 months. I'll need this money in 1 week. We can tell you, put it here. Okay. I need that money after 1 year. I will tell you, okay, fine, this space would be good for you. Yeah. So different horizons for different financial assets and investment opportunities. Okay. That is problem number 2. People are not defining their horizon properly. Yeah. The other one is risk appetite. Profile your risk appetite to get to know what is this that I can withstand and where are my internal systems not yet built to, you know, so that you know what your capacity is. Because there are people who invest in shares, then you go home, you switch on the TV, it's business news. Then you hear the share price has dropped. This guy now, you must, you must fund them because the ambulance needs to come for them. Yes. Yeah, if you're also the kind that you deposit money in the morning in the bank account, and then by 3 p.m. you have checked your balance 4 times.
You're like, has anything grown
is this money still there? And then your risk appetite is low. So what we say is check also and see. There are people who have, with time, you develop that tolerance, that risk tolerance to know that, okay, even if the price of this thing drops this way, based on the research that I had my investment advisor tell me, I think the price will be going up in the next 3 months. So this one is just a small book entry, and I feel that things will be different. So that again is another thing. Be able to know what is my risk appetite, and then what is the risk profile of the space I'm going into. Money market, for example, I would say it's next to zero. Because rarely will that money touch your capital. So your capital is there and it is not touched. Go into other spaces, there's a chance that you deposited 1 million, tomorrow you may find the value is 980,000. So this 20, it's only the research that gives you the projections that you can now rely on, you know. So what we see here is, there's the risk of the security you are investing into. Each financial security either comes with a low risk, medium risk, or high risk. And you know, high risk, high return. So if you're only chasing return, please make sure the other side next to it there's also risk. You know, so one needs to know those
Yeah.
things exactly.
I really love the new terms that I'm learning. Now, when someone asks me, I'll definitely mention risk appetite somewhere. I'll be like, you have a low risk appetite, you know. I really love the business terms that are being used, or capital appreciation, you know.
Yes,
So those are the
yes.
terms that we are learning as we learn more and more about investments.
Yes.
And Mr. George, somewhere you mentioned about a financial advisor.
Yes.
And in someone's investment journey, where does the financial advisor come from?
Okay.
Come in, sorry.
Come in.
Yeah.
The financial advisor, first of all, you'll get them from the institutions that are giving you the solution. And these are also professions or lines that are also regulated, because I can't just wake up and call myself a financial advisor. I must be recognized as such by the ICIFA, the Institute of Certified Investment and Financial Analysts. So that now, you know, you are known that you are an advisor, you are a financial analyst, you are somebody who has studied finance in the space of CFA and other CC, they call them CC, different designations. So that is an expert in that space. They know how markets behave. They know how these assets behave. So you bring them on board, not because I came to invest in money market. No, you come and talk to them, have a conversation and tell them, this is me. This is how my earnings pattern looks like. And these are my monthly cash flow needs, okay? And these are my obligations. And this is the much time I need to maybe put aside for this money to be invested. Then this person will point you to the right product, the right solution. And we desist from calling them products, because products are sold. People push them. Hey, buy this, buy this, buy this. But solutions are bought. Because you walk into a space, you need a solution for your need. We may both walk into Kuza, for example, but our objective, our horizon, and our risk profiles are different. We will come out of that place with different solutions. Yeah. So that is where that financial advisor comes from.
Okay. Yes, so in the investment journey, you'll definitely need a financial advisor somewhere.
Yes. You can Kuza, we have to give you one. Wow. Even when you download our Kuza app and you are signing up, then you need to actually, we have a drop-down list there that tells you, choose your financial advisor. Oh, wow. Because you need somebody you can talk to. Yeah. You need somebody you can reach out to without sending an email to info at where everybody in operations will see. You're feeling like, no, these are private conversations. I need a financial advisor. I know George Oyuga inside there. So even when I'm downloading the app, I'll be able to say, in this list here, I can see George Oyuga, and you can actually pick the name. Okay. So that now when you write to George, George knows you, George remembers you, George will walk with you through this journey, help you make decisions, even where you are undecided, in a very objective way, will be able to guide you. Oh, that is really nice. So I know that you always say that you should believe and trust yourself, but in the investment journey, you definitely need a financial advisor, so that you cannot feel stuck, or maybe you cannot just take the wrong path, and you could have taken the correct path when you have someone by your side. Exactly. So as we come to almost to a conclusion, let me be like those pastors who say, as we finish, and then they do not finish. So we have talked about problems that we face and everything, and you talked about consistency somewhere. So are there any strategies that someone can adopt to become consistent in their investment? Okay. Because you have talked about, what was that name that I was saying? Risk appetite. So how can someone do so that they cannot reach someone and be like, I think I need that money. I think I should not have kept that money there. I want it back and something like that. So what should someone do to become like consistent in their investment? And also like, I think we should have like a sprinkle of patience somewhere. And we can also look at it from the perspectives of young people, or maybe in general, people with limited access to funds. Because I can say such people, I think I am one of those people. If you have limited access to funds, maybe there is a need that might arise, and then now you'll
start thinking of, okay, I kept my 100,000 somewhere. I know that I am in need and I do not have anywhere else to get money.
Yeah.
I need that 100,000 back. So how can someone, the strategies that someone can adapt to become consistent?
Okay, I hear you. Number one, of course, the tool that makes you a consistent saver, first of all, is the tool that can help you hive out that saving component from the usual expenditures in a month. And that one we said is a budgeting tool. So once that budgeting tool, of course, you've aligned and said, this portion goes to my recurrent expenditure, this portion here goes to pay my obligations, this other portion here goes to my savings. So that savings pot is what then moves from saving to investment.
Okay.
You see? So that way then, you are consistently saving, and then the investment decisions are also consistently being done from your savings pot to now help you grow the money even more. Now, when it comes to those abrupt decisions of whether I need the money back or not, now that comes in where you are like, have you really defined your emergency accurately?
Oh, true.
Because there are some things we call emergencies which are not emergencies, they are urgencies.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's urgent, but it's not an emergency.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so if you are, for example, because the first objective we normally tell people is, can you save towards building an emergency fund? Emergency fund is a fund that can cater for your monthly expenses for at least 6 months.
Wow.
So if you know in a month I spend 50,000, then build this thing to 300.
Wow.
Why? Because this will be 50 times 6 months.
Yeah.
So that way then, now your emergency fund is intact. Then hold this emergency fund in a money market fund. Then as you continue saving, now your savings are coming in to top up the 300K. Meaning now you have more money, than the emergency fund. Now that more money is what I would say now push it to what we call real investments. Because real investments are such that they now onboard returns and risk. So as you chase returns, you're also onboarding risk. Then the aspect of, do you understand the space and do you have someone you can work with, really come in handy. Because now, as you chase risk, if you miss the risk, as you chase returns, if you miss the returns, you land on risk. Is it? So that becomes a very, very clear thing. So define what you feel are your real emergencies. Yes. So that's urgencies and emergencies are different things.
I tell you today, I'm really learning a lot. And it is they're just things that happen to me like on a daily basis, but it's just because I was not aware of them. Like emergencies and urgencies. For me, I have not defined that well. And I'm sure someone at home has also not defined that well. So please make sure that your emergencies and your urgencies are well defined so that when you do your budgeting, you definitely know where to put which money where, and also the priorities. Exactly. Wow, that is really amazing. And in the same of investment, there are long-term investments and the short-term investments. So how can someone balance? Like how can someone invest in a long-term opportunity without sabotaging or maybe leaving the short-term opportunity? Because maybe someone will think, if I invest in this long-term opportunity, maybe it has maybe a higher return and maybe more benefits, and then they might decide to leave maybe the short-term ones. So how can someone balance that?
Okay. If you work with a financial advisor or maybe an analyst, they can guide you into what we call preparing a mini portfolio. That mini portfolio will spread your assets, diversify them across different spaces. Some of those spaces will help you tick the short-term goals, others will help you tick the medium-term goals, and others will help you tick the long-term goals. Because even those long-term goals, you need to break them into small manageable milestones to know that if I have a 3-year plan, for example, so long as I am here in 3 months and then here in the next 3 months, which makes it 6, and then here in 1 year, I am slowly headed towards the goal that I have. So those long-term goals are in one way achieved in smaller, minute milestones, which then help you that. But you can only do that if you already have a good plan and a portfolio that tells you this portion here ticks my medium-term goal. Because maybe it is money that its proceeds should be able to help me on rent, for example, things like those ones. So that way then you know that whenever the proceeds come, I normally pull them out because I will be using them to pay rent. So if that is the same money that I am wishing should grow and make me a millionaire, definitely I'll wake up 10 years later and I'm still the same person. It's like saying I have one chicken and I want to be a large poultry farmer, but every day I wake up and fry the egg. I'll never be the poultry farmer with 1,000 birds if I'm frying the egg every morning, is it? So you now know that even if this thing is in this particular space, but the goal is long term, it means I need to do the compounding game. Compounding is where the income today becomes part of my principal tomorrow. So now both my original money and the growth are being invested. And that way you accelerate. By the way, that one is one of the wonders of the world, the compounding aspect, because it builds magic. People are able to get and accelerate their growth to levels that people cannot understand. Yes, because of compounding. So that needs to be very, very clear. When you know these are my short-term goals, this is how I meet them. When I know this is my long-term goals, and now in totality, what you have is called a portfolio.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So as you have heard from Mr. George, that it is not, you cannot just concentrate on one, you can actually do both, the long-term and short-term, and both of them are beneficial to you and your investment journey. Thank you very much, Mr. George, for your great insights. I believe people at home have really learned a lot. So if you have had the following terms somewhere, just know that we are really doing well. If you have had risk, capital, compound interest somewhere, just know that we are doing well, and you can actually start your investment journey right now, just as Mr. George told us that. It does not matter how little the amount is, like as little as 1,000, you can start your journey. And just to clarify on that, Mr. George, as you give us your parting shot, you can also tell us how we can go about our investment, and maybe just one word that will encourage someone at home that was maybe skeptical about starting their investment journey. Yes, you're welcome.
I think I'll just summarize by again taking us back to the space model. If you want to invest, number one is believe in yourself. And investment is not a preserve of the rich. Anyone, I said today, that opportunity has been cascaded so low such that anyone who can set aside 1,000 shillings can be on that journey. And you start with the money market. It's normally the best space to start because it does not onboard the risks that we all know in the market. So the space where you save matters. The S there is this organization licensed and regulated? Tick. Is this product licensed, regulated? Tick. Can I access my money when I need it within the shortest time period possible, within 48 hours? Tick. Is there a cost other than what I'm seeing? Any hidden costs? Again, tick. Will the earnings, are they somewhere where I feel I am growing my money? Tick. So that space currently is being ticked 100%, actually 101% at Kuza Asset Management. And we are doing that and doing that very well. So www.kuza.africa, that's our website. You can download our app, Kuza Asset Management, or you can also go to our portal in the website and you do that. And all those are avenues where one can come in. Anyone can invest. It is no longer a preserve of the rich.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
very much. It was really a pleasure to have you with us
Thank
today.
you too.
And thank you for clarifying and also shedding light on the things that we were not in the know. Thank you very much. We look forward to having you so that you can expound more and more on matters investment and
Yes.
also finances
Thank
in
you.
general.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. I believe that this conversation was as helpful to you as it was to me. And by now, I know that with the knowledge that you have been impacted today, you can start your investment journey. My fellow comrades at home, the little money that you use to buy smocha on your way home, you can start saving it as early as now, so that when you reach 1,000, you can start kuzaing your
That's
money.
the verb, exactly.
You can start kuzaing that amount of money, and you'll definitely get a financial advisor somewhere in your journey. And we can be as many millionaires as we can. So thank you very much for joining us. This was Tusemezane Show. This is where you get the perfect voices and timely topics like this investment topic that has impacted you there at home. I'm Nyota Lubemba. Until next time.
Tusemezane, perfect voices and timely topics.